Hey guys, I'm Pixel Dan, and this is a review of the NECA Toys San Diego Comic-Con 2015 Exclusive Ambush Predator. That's right, NECA has got some amazing throwback exclusives this year at San Diego Comic-Con, and the one we're about to look at now is probably my favorite amongst them. Ambush Predator here is a nod to the old Kenner mail-away action figure from the vintage Predator toy line. So let's check him out. As you can see, he comes on that blister card packaging that is a total nod to that old Kenner packaging. We've seen several of NECA's other Kenner Predators come on this, and while the vintage Ambush Predator actually was a mail-away, so he came inside of a white mailer box, I definitely appreciate the fact that NECA carded this guy rather than going with that white mailer box. If you look at the back of the box there, we've got some really neat artwork of the Ambush Predator along with a description of the character, and below that, a look at some of NECA's other Kenner Predator figures. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at this figure outside of the packaging. Now, before we talk about the action figure itself, I do want to show this, because I think this is one of those things that NECA does amazingly well when it comes to the details of these vintage figures. He comes packaged with this little diagram here that shows you how to attach all of the accessories and how the little action features work. The reason why this little piece of paper is so cool is because the vintage Ambush Predator came with the same kind of little instruction sheet. You'll even notice that the way that NECA designed their new one is a total nod to the way Kenner designed theirs. I love the cool little intricacies like this, so kudos to NECA for doing the fun little things like the instruction inserts. Alright, so with that out of the way, let's look at the action figure itself. Just like the vintage figure, he is done in a full translucent plastic, so the figure has a very cool crystal clear effect to it. In fact, the only part of the figure that has any sort of paint deco is right there on the face, which actually mimics the way the Kenner version was. You can see he's got this bit of a black highlight going around the eyes, and kind of has these neat little black crackles going up the face there. In addition to that, the eyes are glowing green beneath the black. It's a really cool look, and it's a neat way to kind of mimic the way that Kenner blackwashed the head on their version of Ambush Predator. So the rest of the figure, as I stated, is all done in this really nice crystal clear plastic, but all of the sculpted details are still there. In fact, this is a very similar build. If you've already got figures like the Viper Predator, this does share all of the body with that particular figure, all the way down to the arm blades being on both arms and the mask that we're going to take a look at in just a bit. So he's got several accessories. First of all, he does have that standard attachable arm cannon, or the shoulder cannon there, and it works just like we've seen on all the other figures. You can actually just clip it on his back, and it slides right there over his shoulder, and then you can even articulate the little gun there. So before we talk about the other accessories, why don't we go and talk about the rest of the articulation on this figure. I'm going to go ahead and remove the shoulder cannon, just so I can really demonstrate what we've got here. The head's on a nice ball joint, so it can look left, right, and gets a nice range of motion even up and down. All of the dreads off the back are done in a nice softer plastic, so it doesn't hinder the movement whatsoever. You do have ball joints at the shoulders, so the arms can go up, forwards, and backwards. You got this great little cable here that's flexible enough that it doesn't break or hinder the movement whatsoever. You've got swivels at the elbow, as well as a standard elbow bend, and you've got those ball joints at the wrist so the hands can roll all the way around. In addition, you do have the ability to extend the blades on both of the forearms there. You can swivel the body at the waist. You've got the ball joints at the thighs, so legs can go outwards, forwards, and backwards. You can swivel the thigh cut. You've got double joints in the knees that are hidden beneath the little knee pads there, which is really nice. And then you've got the ball joints at the feet, so you can roll the feet all the way around, as well as swivel them. So, if you've already got Viper Predator, or you're familiar with most of NECA's other Predator figures, you know what you're getting as far as the articulation goes. So now we're going to bring in the accessories. First of all, let's look at the arm blades. The vintage Ambush Predator had these awesome clip-on silver pieces, and the NECA version does a great job of mimicking that by creating these amazing new sculpts to kind of fit in with what that Kenner version did. These blades are amazing. They have a really fantastic sculpt to them, and they're done in this really nice shiny silver paint that's got a bit of a black wash on there to make it look a little gritty, as well as bring out all of the sculpted details in there. We even have some green spots on there that kind of match the eyes. So you can get Predator to hold on to these, and let me show you how to attach them. This is one part where I definitely want to recommend you take your time a little bit, because these are going to clip on over the extendable wrist blades, and with these being a thinner plastic, they might be a little fragile and you don't want to snap those. So the way you're going to attach them is there's a little grip bar in the center there, and you're going to get Predator to grip onto it, and then you bring it all over the back of his arm there, and the back piece of the blade actually snaps on to the back of his forearm, which is really nice. And that way you can get him gripping onto these blades. Now I will note that the right hand is a little bit harder to get attached because he's got a bit of a more firm grip there. So this is the one where you really want to be a little extra careful when attaching it, because you definitely don't want to accidentally snap off the extendable wrist blades. And then it snaps into place just like on the other arm, and now we've got our Predator posed with these amazingly cool silver blades. Now, to finish the look of the character, he also comes with this awesome mask. And again, same mask we saw with Viper Predator, but this time around it's done in that same shiny silver paint with a nice black wash on there, and the glowing green eyes to match the eyes on Predator. And I always love the attention to detail on the inside of these masks. Just look at all the sculpt work in there. That is so fantastic. The mask clips nice and firm right there onto his face, holds in place there, and then we can get our shoulder cannon attached back on there, and that right there is going to complete the look of Ambush Predator. Now, the only thing that is really missing with this to kind of match up with the vintage version is the black chest armor. The vintage Kenner figure came with some black clip-on chest armor, and this particular NECA version does not include that accessory. Now, personal preference, I never really liked the black armor anyway because I thought it really broke up the overall look of the character. I thought the silver along with the translucent plastic looked the best, so I'm okay with that piece missing. Another thing you might be asking yourself is, well, what about the fact that the vintage one had this really cool vac metallized silver? I will say that the silver on this is incredible. NECA did a great job, and I think the added detailing on there is going to actually make a lot of collectors very happy. But any of you that are really nostalgic for that vac metallized plastic, NECA threw in a little extra bit for you. There is a second mask included that is done in the very shiny vac metallized like plastic, just like the vintage figure. It's the same mask, same details on the inside, but this one, as you can see, is a much shinier look. So if you want to, you can remove that other mask, and we can put the more vac metallized mask on in its place. One thing I want to kind of point out is that it's a little bit harder to attach that mask. I didn't have too much of a problem here, which is really good. And it is worth noting that it does attach. But since the vac metallized plastic is a bit harder, it's not as flexible, it has a little bit more of a problem gripping on to the face since it's a softer plastic. All you got to do is just make sure you attach it the right way, and it does stay in place. And now we've got him posed with that nice shiny vac metallized mask. And it still looks really good with the silver claws. Alright guys, it's comparison time. Here's a look at this brand new NECA version of the Ambush Predator standing alongside the Kenner version, so you can see the similarities and of course the differences between the two. So there you go, my friends. There is a look at the brand new San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Ambush Predator from NECA Toys. I have been a big fan of all of their throwback figures, specifically their Kenner-inspired Predator line. And Ambush Predator here is one I have been hoping that they were going to tackle for quite some time now. The fact that it's a convention exclusive makes sense, actually, since the original one was also an exclusive mail-away. This figure will be available first at the 2015 San Diego Comic-Con, but I do believe NECA plans to make this available in other means that they are still planning to announce. Special thanks to NECA Toys for sending Ambush Predator along early so we can get a good detailed look at him before he goes on sale. Happy hunting, my friends, and until next time.